before electricity lit our cities, before cars filled highways, before airplanes ruled the skies, there was darkness. Deep beneath the earth, formed over millions of years from ancient oceans and microscopic life, lay a thick black liquid. It had no crown, no flag, no army. And yet, it would become more powerful than all three. This is the story of oil, the substance that built empires, started wars, created fortunes, and shaped the modern world. Chapter 1. Oil before civilization. Millions of years ago, tiny marine organisms absorbed sunlight. When they died, their remains sank to the ocean floor. Pressure, heat, time. Over millions of years, these organic remains transformed into petroleum. Long before modern drilling, natural oil seeped to the surface. In ancient Mesopotamia, oil was used to waterproof boats and bind bricks. Asphalt was used in construction. The Chinese were drilling primitive oil wells as early as 347 AD using bamboo poles. But oil was just another material. Its true power was still hidden. Chapter 2. The birth of the modern oil industry. The 19th century was driven by coal and whale oil. But whale oil was expensive and whales were becoming scarce. Then came 1859. In Titusville, a former railroad conductor named Edwin, Drake drilled 69 feet into the ground. Oil flowed. That moment changed history. Kerosene replaced whale oil. Cities lit up. Oil rush towns exploded overnight. Investors poured money into drilling. The petroleum age had begun. Chapter 3. Rise of oil empires. As oil production increased, competition became fierce. One man saw an opportunity, John D. Rockefeller. He founded Standard Oil. Through smart strategy, ruthless competition, and control over transportation and refining, Standard Oil dominated the industry. At its peak, it controlled nearly 90% of U.S. oil refining. Rockefeller became one of the richest men in history. Oil was no longer just energy. It was economic power. Chapter 4. Oil and the Industrial Revolution 2.0. The invention of the internal combustion engine changed everything. Gasoline, once considered waste, became valuable. In 1908, Henry Ford introduced the Model T. Affordable cars meant mass oil consumption. Roads expanded. Suburbs grew. Global transportation networks developed. Oil became the fuel of mobility. The world was now dependent. Chapter 5. Oil and World Wars. During World War I and World War II, oil determined military strength. Tanks, ships, aircraft. Armies without oil were powerless. Germany's invasion strategies were partly driven by oil access. Japan targeted oil supplies in the Pacific. Oil was now strategic. It wasn't just business, it was survival. Chapter 6. The Middle East and Global Power. Massive oil reserves were discovered in the Middle East. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, and Kuwait became central to global energy supply. In 1960, oil-producing nations formed OPEC. They aimed to control production and pricing. The 1973 oil crisis shocked the world. Fuel shortages, rising prices, economic instability. Oil had become a geopolitical weapon. Chapter 7. Oil in everyday life. Today, oil is everywhere. Plastic bottles, phones, clothes, medicines, fertilizers. Even renewable energy equipment often depends on petroleum-based materials. Modern civilization runs on oil. Without it, global trade would collapse. Chapter 8. The Future of Oil. But the world is changing. Climate change concerns are pushing nations toward renewable energy. Solar, wind, electric vehicles. The question now is, are we witnessing the beginning of the end of the oil age, or will oil remain dominant for decades to come? One thing is certain. From ancient seepages to global superpower politics, oil didn't just change the world. It built the modern one.